3 people. Everybody, please hit the like button. All right. All right. See if it takes a while tonight to get a crowd. I don't know. It might. Fake and gay. What is my cock's big? What is? Great name. It's original. Nobody's ever heard that before. Mike Morgan. I guess you didn't hear about the Epstein files that were released today. You didn't hear about those? What a surprise. Fox News didn't tell you? Yeah, more Epstein files were released today. And it shows that the FBI was contacted. There was a tip given to the FBI that Donald Trump forced an underage girl to give him oral sex. Not 3 million. No. Accused are innocent until proven guilty. Mike, you guys are pathetic. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't know anybody who's ever been accused of that. I don't. Due process. Yeah, now you care about due process, huh? Yeah. The man people still support, and I've been calling him pedo this whole time. Oh, and he is. He is. I guess MAGA is going to say it was fake. Well, look at Mike Morgan here. This is the way they do things. Oh, so innocent until proven guilty. Well, he's not going to court for it because the statute of limitations is up. So I guess it's one of those things like I explained yesterday where there's smoke, there's fire. If you know everything most people know about Trump and you hear something like this and don't believe it's true, it's because you're willfully ignorant. Yes, a tip is. Yeah. But it's a human being who said, hey, this happened to my friend. Yep. Yeah, I know. All of a sudden they care about it, right? Where's the proof? Hey, you know what? You guys, no matter what, if I showed you a video of it happening, you'd say it wasn't true. So just believe whatever you'd like. Doesn't matter. I mean, we know that you support pedophiles. We know you do. You're doing it as we speak. And again, there's nothing Trump could do to lose your support. Nothing. So I'm not here to change any of your minds. I know better. I'm not American. I do not live in America. I look at your politics and laugh at both sides. You're all stupid. Well, you just spelled your in the context of, like you said, you're all stupid, and you spelled it Y-O-U-R. So I got to tell you something. You might not know, Mike. You're stupid. Oh, shit. Everybody knows leftists lie. Trump's your daddy. Oh, God, another one. Oh, he calls a grown man daddy. Oh. The video is AI. That's what they would say. That's what they would say, yeah. Your mother's a scumbag, Charles. Democrats are more confused than Michelle Obama's gynecologist. Oh, funny. And no, we're not. We're just smarter than you guys. much smarter than you guys. That's not true. Allegations aren't proof. No, somebody said evidence. They said evidence. And yeah, that would be evidence. Yeah. That's what a witness does. They provide testimony. Testimony can be seen as evidence. So if somebody told the FBI, listen, a friend of mine had this happen to her, then, you know, no, it didn't. It didn't, because she said in court that he never did anything like that to her. But of course, you'll just believe the part in her diary. Her word is good then, but then when she says he didn't do anything, her word means nothing, right? Let me see. Your best comeback is picking on spelling and grammar when you can't support your views. No one cares about you and your it's a time saver. Yeah. Or your and your. Yeah, yes, they do. People do. People with fucking brains who want to be able to read somebody's writing. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense to somebody who knows the difference. You're a fucking idiot. You know, and it's not a comeback. I'm just pointing out, I prove on every show that you guys are the dumbest people. You say you're not from America. Who even cares? Then shut the fuck up, first of all. But the people in America that voted for Trump are the dumbest people in America. It's a fact. No, we're not surprised. Not at all. It's crazy how many people are going to burn in hell because of Trump. Souls are already cashed in. I know, man. I know. Again, so, listen, you look at whatever you need to make you feel better. I already know, to make yourself feel better. I already know the guy's a pedo. So when I see stuff like that, I don't need any more evidence. I have all the evidence a person could possibly need to know someone's a pedo. You know, 27 credible sexual assault allegations, being found civilly liable for sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll, talking about wanting to fuck his daughter her whole life, being on camera looking at a 10-year-old girl and saying, I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. He's a pedo. Yes, he did. He did. Yep. I forgot about that. Thank you, Richard. You don't have shit. Of course not. No matter what we have, guys, I told you, if I showed you a legit video of him doing it and you had to admit the video is real, you would just say, yeah, but what's wrong with that? I mean, the girl's 13. She's almost a grown up. You know, that's what you guys would do. You're sick. You're sick in the fucking head. You are animals. You have been brainwashed into a cult to the point where you stand up for pedo shit. I'll just use the words pedo shit. I don't like to use the whole word because YouTube doesn't like that. You will. You guys have no morals. You stand for nothing. And no surprise, a lot of you are religious, because religious people are the most evil motherfuckers I ever met in my life. Of course I don't have a video, fuckface. I said if I did. Oh, yeah, sure. That's why I think he's the third most unpopular president in American history. Only behind George W. Bush and Richard Nixon. Yeah. Yeah, and every time they're asked, presidential scholars, every time there's a poll taken, they rate him the worst president. Sure, he was, even though there's no proof. See what I mean about you guys? That's why we don't take you seriously, because you heard about this accusation, yet another accusation against Donald Trump for being a pedo, and you say no proof, innocent until proven guilty. You saw a thing in a diary, even though Ashley later said he didn't do anything to me. I love my dad. And even in the diary, she said probably not appropriate. She didn't even say inappropriate. She said that her words were grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context. But see how you guys do it? You don't like Biden, so Biden's guilty. Trump, we could show you all the evidence in the world, but you like Trump, so he's never guilty. Slave labor. You know, that's another talking point you guys put out there. We go over that on every show. Why don't you try looking it up and you'll find the answer. You'll find the answer why he didn't. Excuse me. Sorry about that. What was I just going to look at? I was saying something. Oh, fuck it. Who cares? Let me see. All right, let me get towards the bottom here. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. There's 282 people. It's very, very important. And send a super chat if you can. It would mean a lot to me. Sabrina Merrick, $2. MAGA still supports him no matter what, sadly. Yeah. There's nothing he can do. There's no line. he can cross. Even now, the Second Amendment, they're like, the one thing we thought, oh, no, that's one line he can't cross. Now they're like, yeah, he's right. You can't have a gun at a protest. Meanwhile, it's literally 2 of your constitutional rights. You know what I mean? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. We tried that too. I pulled up the video. One of you guys said, here, pull up this video. I pulled it up, and you don't see anything like that. And the one video where it looks like he's sniffing a kid, if you look it up, which you won't, you'll see that it was altered. It was digitally altered. In the original video, there is no sniffing sound. So see what I mean? And I knew that's what you guys would do, because the first thing you'll do is Trump's innocent till proven guilty. Where's your evidence? And then immediately after, with no evidence to back it up, you'll say Biden's definitely a pedo. Yep. He's got your side defending 2A. LOL, we win. No. First of all, I've always defended the Second Amendment. What people are doing on the left is pointing out that you guys, again, are cult members who will stand by this guy no matter what he does, even if he's doing it to you and doing it to the most precious thing you hold dear, the Second Amendment. You know, if Donald Trump said to you guys tomorrow, if he went live on national television and said, I'm coming to take all your guns, you guys would be like, all right, yeah, cool. Yeah, there's got to be a good reason he's doing it. He's Trump, you know? You would surrender all your guns tomorrow. Oh, shit. Let me see. Democrats have zero loyalty. They just don't have blind loyalty. They have loyalty. I mean, you're not supposed to have blind loyalty. You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to follow a guy no matter what he does or says, and then just believe every word he says and repeat it like a programmed robot. That's blind loyalty. You're confusing the two. You know what I mean? You're confusing the two. I'm loyal to my friends. Oh my God. One of the most loyal friends you could have. But if I find out my best friend, who I've known since I was 15 years old, if I find out he even got accused of some pedo shit, we're not friends no more. No more loyalty. But you guys, you're like, so what? He's a pedo. So what? He's stomping all over the Second Amendment. So what? You guys don't care. You literally stand for nothing. Nothing. Biden was a racist president. How so? How was he a racist president? But then again, I don't even care to fucking defend him. He probably was racist. I mean, he's 9,000 years old. He's a white man in America. Chances are he is. What does that have to do with anything? It's because you guys can't defend Trump, so you just say, what about Biden? What about this one? What about that one? That's sad, even accused. Of course. These guys, listen, look. They read a passage in Ashley Biden's diary that she later said was grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context, but it fits their narrative. So Biden's a pedo. They see allegation after allegation. They see sexual assault accusations going back decades. They see the Katie Johnson case. They see E. Jean Carroll, the fact that he cheated on all his wives. He talks about fucking his own daughters. He said to about a 10-year-old girl, I'll be dating her in 10 years. And that's nothing. That's no. That's not evidence. No. But Biden definitely a pedo. He didn't fight an agent. That's just you saying that. And when he got shot, he didn't have a gun. But you fucktards had no problem fighting with police on January 6th. That was okay, right? Jay said $5. Did you get tickets to the Melania movie yet? What's up, bro? Thank you for the $5. No, nobody did. Nobody did. I just saw they're trying to pay people to go to the fucking thing now. Nobody wants to see her bitch ass movie. All that was Jeff Bezos's little bribe to Donald Trump. Okay, we'll give your whore wife $40 fucking million for her ridiculous life story that's going to be 95% lies. Just like the lies that she speaks 5 languages. The bitch don't even speak English. What do you mean? She speaks Slovenian and a little tiny bit of English. A little bit. That's what I mean, Circuit. You don't know anything. The fact that you're still saying that after Nick Shirley actually admitted that he found nothing, after they went and investigated and found out that all those learning centers were operating exactly how they were supposed to be. Somebody even mentioned earlier when Nick Shirley showed the door of one of the learning centers, he like blurred out the thing that says that they only operate during certain hours and they weren't even open when he was there. So again, that's you guys just saying shit. You'll ask me all day, what proof do you have? Meanwhile, you claim things with zero proof. You claim things that have been debunked. You claim things that your own fucktards have said, oh, well, I was wrong. It's not true. Where is it stated that Trump is a pedo? It's just a common knowledge, you know? You're a fucking joke. You forgot the apostrophe, stupid. Oh, am I triggering you guys? Are you upset? Because you're in a cult. You guys could talk about Biden all day and I'll be like, you know what I mean? We talk about Trump and it's an attack on your identity. It is, because you guys have never been anything in your lives. And now you get to identify. You found a community full of fucktards just like yourselves. And they're led by the world's biggest fucktard. You know, that's why you will fucking kiss his ass and follow him blindly. Even if you catch him in an alley raping a woman, you'd say, hey, if Trump did it, it's good for the country. That's why you are a laughing stock, and the whole fucking world laughs at you. The whole world. You're in a cult then, right? No, and it's YOU''RE. Why would I be in a cult? I don't give a shit about politicians. I don't care at all. Oh, shit. Let me see. Could you imagine if Joe Biden was accused of forcing an underage girl to perform oral? They'd already, in the court of public opinion, among the MAGAs, he would already be convicted and given the death penalty. You know what I mean? But with Trump, it's like, show me evidence, though. Evidence. Gee, I don't know. You want to see evidence that Trump's a pedo? Here, I'll show you some. We say it's not proof. Oh, it's evidence.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
Yeah. She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, you know, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no sweat.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right.
Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. It's very important. And if you can, please send a super chat. It helps out. It makes it so I can keep doing these shows. You know, it pays for time and equipment and everything else. So I would appreciate it. Oh, shit. Especially if you appreciate the work I'm doing, because I am fighting evil and scumbags every day on here. 9,000 pages of the Epstein files says Trump is a pedo. Emails, I mean, 30,000 emails. The fucking guy is mentioned more than anyone else. 1,600 times he's mentioned in the Epstein emails. And one of them says, Trump knows about the girls. He spent hours at my house alone with one of the victims. Yeah, but Trump, the biggest pervert on the planet, is at a house with a 15-year-old girl alone for hours. Gee, I wonder what they were doing. They were probably playing Monopoly or something, right? It had nothing to do with TYT. None of those clips are taken out of context. I've seen all of them in their full context. Plus, you're watching Trump say these things. Trump sat there with Robin Leach and speculated about how big his 4-year-old daughter's titties were going to wind up being. I mean, Jesus Christ. He said on The View, the one thing he has in common with his daughter is sex. He said, if she wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. She's always been very voluptuous. She has a beautiful figure. Get the fuck out of here. I got a daughter who's 25. Never in a fucking million years would I say something like that. Never, 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 never. It's the last thing that would even come to my mind. It would never come to my mind. You know, more on my worst day than you'll ever be with on your best, fish scale. Guarantee it. What do you know about fish scale? Let me guess. You got a 20 of it at one point and snorted it. Probably had a heart attack. Pussy. Bro, you're Y-O-U-R an idiot. If you're going to call me an idiot, can you spell your right, you stupid fucktard, by any chance? You're satire, dude. Y-O-U-R. Yeah, that's what I am. You probably don't know what satire means, do you? Anyone who supports Dump is as demonic as he is un-American. Oh, no doubt. Yeah. Trump loves baby girls. And possibly, from what we're finding out, baby boys. No, she didn't. That's what I mean. You guys, you will talk all day about what proof do I have, and then you'll say this. I will give you $1 million if you could find a credible source. Fuck the credible source. Go get the diary excerpt and see if it says she was 14. It didn't say an age. She said when she was a child, she could have been 3 days old, and she didn't even say inappropriate. She said probably not appropriate. I think it's fucking weird, without a doubt. I wouldn't defend it, but there's no proof he's a pedo. There isn't. He's just fucking weird, I guess. I know I am. Thank you, Greg Smith. So are you. Shit. Where do you live? Pennsylvania. Why, you want to come visit me? 1313 Mockingbird Lane. It's my address, fuckface. No, it's not. Grammar's not. Spelling's not. Math isn't. Nothing is. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Please hit the like and subscribe, guys, please. And if you can, I'm going to keep saying it just because the first like 50 of these shows I did, I never asked for anything. But if you guys could either send a super chat or I could put my Cash App in the chat, that would be great because, like I said, it makes these shows possible. I do other YouTube stuff that I make a living off of, but it's very horrible, horrendous, filled with drama, terrible. It's a nightmare, and I'm trying not to do that anymore. So I'm sticking with this. Now I just deal with even stupider people than I did in that community, you know, because nobody beats MAGA when it comes to stupid. Fucking dummies. Stupidest states. You're from the stupidest states in the country. There's the Cash App, guys. Fish Scale is my restaurant, you degenerate. You named a restaurant Fish Scale, huh? That's good. You sell Coke out of the kitchen or what? Trump is a diseased dog. He is. He's dying too. Who says Trump did that? Oh, FBI filings in the Epstein files. Some of them were released today. And it says, let me read it to you. Redacted, reported, an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. So there's that. Yep. And for all the people say, oh, there's no evidence, it's just an accusation. I don't know a single person who's ever been accused of such a thing. And I know a lot of fucking people. And I spent most of my life around some pretty bad guys. Not a single person. To me, if I know you're even accused of that, we ain't friends no more. Nope. Hearsay. Look how he spells here. This fucking idiot. Believe this? Here. Like present, you know? If you think Trump is dying now, you must also believe Biden was cognitively incapacitated beyond recovery during his first run for president. I think he was cognitively declining. Yeah, but again, Trump is much worse off than he is. Much worse off. He's got congestive heart failure. He's got those fucking bruises where he's either getting constant blood draws or their injection sites or something. He might be getting that drug Leqembi injected into him for dementia. He couldn't make it up the stairs to Air Force One the other fucking day. He falls asleep constantly. He had to end a press conference early yesterday because he knew he'd fall asleep. He even said it, basically. He asks questions and hears questions that weren't even fucking asked. He answers them in the most fucked up, incoherent, rambling way you could possibly imagine. He's a complete fucktard. He is. He's dying. All American citizens have their mind on pedo Trump. Yeah. Trump sold his daughter to Israel, in my opinion. He would just give her to them. Why do we have to choose between two old people? It's a good question, man. It's pretty fucked up. It's got to stop. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Look how he spells R, the letter R, like a 12-year-old. R, the letter R, the letter U. Kidding me? You are such a liberal, lying, spreading lies. Have the day you deserve. A shirty one. A shirty one. I am Charlie. Charlie, go back to third grade for real. Learn how to fucking read and write English, you dope. Oh shit. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Very important. Sabrina Merrick, $2. Instead of golfing, he should be going to the gym. Oh, with his fat ass, that's another thing. He's morbidly fucking obese. Morbidly. This streamer forced me to give him oh my God, Mackenzie, Jesus Christ. No, you're just an idiot. But nobody ever accused me of that. Nobody ever accused anybody I know of that. So it's not like people just make up accusations when you say, oh yeah, people don't lie. Who's getting accused of this shit? Who is constantly the same fucking guy who's got decades of sexual assault allegations and they're still happening? We're still finding out new shit. Donald Trump, not Joe Biden, not Barack Obama, not Bush or any of our past presidents. Donald Trump. And what is that? He's just unlucky. People like to lie on him. He's a fucking pervert. What do we know about the guy? We know he's been credibly accused of sexual assault 28 times. We know that his wife in 1989 in court filings said that he brutally raped her. Okay. In 1996, according to Katie Johnson, he brutally raped her with Jeffrey Epstein. Did I leave out that he cheated on all his wives, or did I include that? That's very important because it goes to show that he can't help himself. Okay. The E. Jean Carroll thing he was found civilly liable for. He fucked how many porn stars and Playboy playmates and shit behind Melania's back? He can't help himself. He has no self-control. Best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 10 years, in pictures with him, in videos with him, and even said in 2000, he's a great guy to be around. And it's even said he loves beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Come on, man. You guys could say it's not evidence. It's absolutely evidence. There's no question about it. Mr. Samuel Hill, $10 super sticker. Thank you, Mr. Samuel Hill. I truly appreciate that. I do. Put it this way. If you sick motherfuckers, you might turn over your firstborn to a pedo. Who knows? But any of you that actually care about like your kids and shit, if you found this out about a guy who wanted to take your daughter on a date, what would you do to him? Then again, like I said, you guys would probably be like, sure, why not? Fuck it. You know, it's inbred shit going on and everything else. Why not? But you know what I mean? Like, only with Donald Trump is it okay. If you heard this about any other, even Republican, you'd be like, man, scumbag. But Trump, you're like, nope, I don't believe it. Oh, shit. Reporting your dumbass for spreading misinformation. You're a damn fool. Go ahead. It's literally a fact. What's on the screen here, stupid. Try to strike me. I get struck constantly. You know what happens? Nothing, ever. Nothing ever happens. Joe Biden was effing his daughter. Wow, you just completely made that shit up, huh? Not bad. Lee S. MAGA's world is built on a pedo. Maggots love pedos. They do, man. They do. So you got actually, look, he said, so you got actually proof that nobody said that. That's why the word says accused. Do you have actual proof that Joe Biden molested his daughter in the shower? No, you don't. This is an accusation right here. The difference is with the Ashley Biden thing, she took it back and said that it was taken out of context what she said and grossly misinterpreted. So she said he didn't do anything to her. In this case, This was never recanted by anyone. It said in the files, an FBI agent said that Trump is completely compromised by Israel and is actually, it is actually Jared Kushner running the presidency. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I figured Stephen Miller and one or two other people. So yeah, Trump doesn't come up with policy. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. You know what I mean? He just lets them run it. Sure, yeah. It's not the Dems. I hate to break the news to you that fucking made $3.8 billion off of the office of the presidency. That's Donald Trump. It's not Joe Biden, whose kids' net worth doubled in short time of a fucking year that he was in office. Their net worths, all of them, doubled, and Barron Trump made $150 million off of insider trading. Yeah, it's definitely the Dems that are doing all the crooked shit. Fuck Trump, fuck MAGA, and fuck all Trump supporter pussies everywhere. I'm with you. You think there's one politician in D.C. that doesn't fall into the same category, and yet 77 million people don't give a shit about what you're talking about? Listen, 75 million do, at least. So what's your fucking point, dummy? And no, I don't think every politician is a pedo. I think Donald Trump is, because I have evidence that Donald Trump is. You know what I mean? So, yes, I have a Venmo. You know what, brother? Here, I'm going to put this in the chat. The only reason I don't put it in there is because you have to click on it to really see. But hold on. You know what, brother? Here, I'm going to put this in the chat. Shut up. The only reason I don't put it in there is because you have to click on it to really see. But hold on. You know what, brother? Here, I'm going to put this in the chat. God, I can't stand hearing my own fucking voice. There, if you hit that, that has everything. Jesus Christ, bro. That has a Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. Thank you, Eric. Google Katie Johnson case files. You talking me or them? Yeah, I know about them. Yeah, disgusting. Maybe someone should pay you a visit then. Why, you want to die? What do you think? You have no idea who I am, bro. Trust me. You don't want to do that. You don't want to die in my front yard. You don't want to do that. Especially on a Friday. Who wants to die on a Friday? You don't want to be shot like directly between the eyes or nothing. You don't. Stop it. Stop fooling yourself. Listen, I lived a life where I used guns. You live a life where you just collect them. Okay? For real. Oh, shit. Is there a country that the political divide isn't forefront of existence? I don't know shit about other countries. I just know this one. Trump has been in bed with the Russians since the 70s. Oh, yeah, definitely. They don't know what an accusation is. A lot of people don't know what an accusation is. I find it crazy people believe accusations. You know, half this chat believes that Joe Biden is a pedo, and there wasn't even an accusation made. You know that, right? You know that you guys are the same people that for what, like a couple of years insisted that there's this Democrat cabal of elite pedos that run a pedo ring from a basement of a pizza parlor with no proof, none whatsoever. That's you guys. Are you stupid, bro? Nobody makes accusations like you. You guys still believe Obama's going to jail. Fucking what? Oh my God. That's hilarious coming from you. It's hilarious. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that, brother. Wait, where's your comment? There you go. Paisan, what's going on, man? What are you too scared to participate in mutual combat? Mutual combat. Well, about 2 years ago, I had 5 guys show up to my house when I was least expecting it, when I was getting home from a store. And I jumped out of my car and I engaged in mutual combat. And even though I got jumped, I almost got charged just for engaging in mutual combat. So I'm no stranger to it. I'll say I've done it throughout my lifetime. You know, Republican Jesus said, "Listen to me. I was not in the devil files." Yeah, yeah. Trump personally controls the account with the revenue from Venezuela's oil. Oh, I know. But there's nothing crooked about that or anything. Oh, look, a racist guy. He said Dago. Nice. What a surprise. A MAGA guy who doesn't like somebody who isn't Lily White. Ain't that some shit? I never thought I'd see the day. The only guns your dumbass ever used were full of water. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that, bro. Keep telling yourself that. Look, Guinea. Oh my God. Guys, do you believe what they're saying to me? Do you believe MAGA people are acting like this? I can't believe it. I would have never expected it. You lying piece of shit, 5 guys. Is anybody in the chat? There's literally like videos up about it all over YouTube. There was 5 guys. The main guy's name was Anthony. He was with a guy named Johnny. Anthony also brought a dude named Ronnie and Anthony's brother Marco. And then who was the other fucking guy? I don't think I knew his name. Yeah, there was 5 guys. I got the medical records, you fucking idiot. It's a well-known fact on YouTube. I've kind of been here for a while. And yes, I was fighting one of the dudes. I fucked him up, and then I got jumped. And I almost got charged because I jumped out of the car and started fighting. They said I should have drove off. I ain't driving off. Magooch. Yeah, you're from MobTube, right? You know. Yeah, it's true. I mean, come on. They think, listen, they're used to liars and stuff, so they think, everybody's making shit up. And they also think they're tough. They think they're alphas. It's quite hilarious. Let me see. Bet you didn't know that all maggots are pedos. Oh, I knew. I knew. Fuck Joe Biden and Trump. Matter, you fake Christians of America, the Zionists. Oh, I like to get in all that. But yeah, they are fake Christians. MAGAs are straight outcasts. Facts. And everyone just guessed that it was Biden and Biden's entire staff, so they had never been. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, that's a Tara Reid thing? Mentally ill? Yeah, she was. You would be an embarrassment today goes. You would be an embarrassment today goes. What does that mean exactly? Are you trying to say today goes? Is that what you're trying to do, you fucking idiot? Yeah, okay. Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. The MAGA trash have nothing left. They are desperately clinging to this pedo. It's fucking gross. It is. It's disgusting. It's truly disgusting. You should do something more productive with your time. More productive than making a living? Yeah, maybe I'll watch football or something. Or I could continue making a living so I could support my family. Johnny Mac got his ass kicked. The 3 jumped in. Yeah. Yep. They always hate anyone who tells the truth. I know. Oh, you Italian, an American like Robert De Niro, a clown? What? Guys, do you know English? Do you know any of the words in English or how to organize them into a coherent sentence? Robert De Niro is the fucking man. You think he's a clown because he's smarter than you. He is. Robert De Niro's 100% right about everything he said. And all you fucktard Italians who were on his dick his whole life, and now you're like, fuck Robert De Niro. You're clowns. You're clowns. You guys get so butthurt when people don't worship your leader the way you do. But I got some news for you, man. It's not even all Trump supporters that worship him the way you do. I always get people who come in here and say, you know what? I voted for the guy, but this is too much. I changed my mind. It's you. It's the core, MAGA, that base, that fucking, you're so far gone, so brainwashed that you don't even know who you fucking are anymore. You don't. Wait a minute, what? No, not all of believe that shit, but I don't care what recanting Ashley Biden did. Ain't no context anyone could put on what she sent, saying it said to clear him from what? It didn't say to clear him. What? Forgetting the intern. You're talking about Tara Reid was found to be mentally ill. There's a reason that never went anywhere. And of course you don't. You don't believe Ashley because you want to believe he's a pedo. She never said he was a pedo. Jesus Christ, guys. She said that she there were showers when she was a child that were probably not appropriate. That's it. And she never said an age. You guys are out of your fucking minds. And like I said, I don't defend it. I don't know why he would do that. But also, I don't know. Was she 10 days old? Was she 3 months old? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But I know that according to the victim, what you guys consider the victim, he did nothing to her. So you believe her when she says he did, but then when she says she didn't, her word is nothing, right? I know. Meanwhile, Trump, there's so much evidence to believe he's a pedo. You have to be willfully ignorant to deny it. You just refuse to look at the evidence or acknowledge that it is evidence. But, you'll clear him like that. Nope. I don't care what they say. No, what about Katie Johnson? Nope. What about Eugene Carroll? Nope. What about his wife, Ivanka? Nope. What about him always talking about fucking his own daughter? Nope. What about him saying to the 10-year-old girl, I'll be dating her in 10 years? And she said, ew, nope. You guys you're brainwashed, man. I'm open-minded. If something came out tomorrow that said that Biden really did do some shit, oh my God, I'd be doing my shows about Biden for the next few months. But I listened to the person. Like, if her word is good in a diary, it's not only good in a diary. You know what I mean? But that's you guys. It's like she literally was under oath and said, my dad never did anything like that to me. And her exact words were, my words were taken out of context, grossly misinterpreted, and used to lob false accusations against innocent people. Not to mention the chain of custody with that fucking diary, how many different hands it wound up in before it got to Gawker. Yeah. Sabrina, I remember you talking about that incident, Chris. Yeah, it was a pretty big deal on MobTube. Yeah. Yep. I got fucked up. Don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of them. I know they do. They do. Meanwhile, there's literally thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of people on YouTube that are so familiar with that story, they could tell it to you on their own. Fuentes is their leader. What is he, 4'11"? And as feminine and as beta as you could be. Lee S., $10. You always look out for me, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. All right, Trump the AI. Obama will take their guns any day now. Ironic that Trump is stomping on the Second Amendment. Yeah, you want to see something funny, guys? Hit the like and subscribe, please. Now watch this.
Right, look, I'm not sure why you're all overcomplicating it. It's really quite simple. You can come to a protest, but not if you're bringing a gun. Unless it's for protection, but not protection from people with guns. You can attack people holding skateboards for reacting to you holding a gun, but not the people holding guns reacting to you holding your phone. Because being underage shooting a gun you didn't legally purchase equals concerned citizen. But being an adult with a permit for a gun you've responsibly concealed equals domestic terrorist. Even if we only see it after we've already shoved you to the ground, which retroactively changes the reason we shoved you to the ground. Clearly, the teenager who shot people deserves a podcast, and the ICU nurse trying to help people avoid pepper spray is an agitator, because we have a zero-tolerance policy for disobeying uniformed officers that goes all the way back to January 7th, 2021. And remember, they're only in Minneapolis to secure the border because of Somalia. Glad we cleared that up, because so many of you in the media have been focused on the wrong things. Now, I am happy to take any questions you have about the president's ballroom.
Your knowledge of politics is close to nil. Monica Pizza McCarthy. Well, I know you won't because you're a MobTube coward pussy bitch, but the phone number is 410-941-9850. Why don't you call in and test me? How about that? Bet you won't. Bet you're a coward. That's why you use a fake name. Republicans would hand their daughters over to Trump if he asked. They would have handed them over to Epstein if Trump told them to. Yeah. De Niro's the man. But you guys got to understand. Let me tell you what Trump did to these idiots. Okay, what Trump did to them is, and he even admitted this to Barbara Walters once. She asked him, "Why do you call us fake news?" And he said, "Because I have to discredit you." Okay, and the reason he has to discredit them is because he knows better than anybody how fucked up his past is. He knows. He once said, "Imagine me as president, I would be a mess." Okay, he's got the lawsuit for refusing to rent to black people. He's got the Central Park 5 thing. He's got cheating on all the wives. The fucking hundreds of failed businesses. The 6 bankruptcies. All this shit in his past. So he knew that people were going to tell the truth, not lie about him. They were going to tell the truth, and there was going to be a lot of people doing it. So he knew that he was dealing with a bunch of stupid people, which is what MAGA is. It's made up of dumb people. They literally come from the dumbest, poorest states in America. That's a fact. So he knew all I got to do is convince them that if anyone talks bad about me, it's either fake news or the person is crazy. And then somebody who recently got busted for pedophilia coined the phrase Trump derangement syndrome. And that's why they use that too. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, the only people with Trump derangement syndrome are them, because we see Trump for exactly what he is. I'm not deranged. I don't see Trump for being something he's not. I grew up in New York. I know who that motherfucker is. I've known since I was a little kid. Everybody in New York knew. He was a scumbag since the 70s. No question. He was known for throwing old ladies out in the snow. He was a business cheat. He would stiff union workers that built his buildings, everything. He's a horrible human being. So I see him as that. You guys see him, and this is hilarious. You guys see a billionaire, lifelong pro-choice Democrat from New York City as a guy who cares about people like yourselves, working people who could barely make ends meet, who live in places like Alabama and Mississippi and Oklahoma and Missouri and Tennessee and Kentucky. You know what I mean? And you guys have been convinced by the world's most well-known con man that he gives a shit about you, that he actually cares about you, and he's just a flag-waving patriot who wants nothing but good things for America. Meanwhile, $40 billion to Argentina. We give $10 billion a year, I believe it is, to Israel so they can have free health care. Meanwhile, we're all going bankrupt trying to pay medical fucking bills. You know, I mean, there's nothing America first about the guy. He tariffed China, so China stopped buying soybeans. We had 259 farmer bankruptcies last year, more than we had the year before when Biden was in office. Then he increased beef imports from Argentina. He fucked over our cattle ranchers. You know, he doesn't care about America. He cares about enriching himself, and that is what he's done. He's enriched himself. He's richer than he's ever been right now. Love you, baby. He made his most lucrative year in his lifetime was last year. He made $3.8 billion fucking dollars. You know what I'm saying? So he's selling, but plus forget about the crypto coin and this fact that he's selling pardons for millions of dollars. But the merch, oh my God, between the stupid clothes you fucking idiots all wear so you could all look alike, the hats, the shirts, you got the Bibles, the watches, the phones that they sold you dummies and never delivered on. All that stuff. I mean, if tomorrow Donald Trump wrapped one of his turds in plastic wrap and said, I'll sell this to the highest bidder, you guys would all be taking out a loan to try to buy his shit. There's no question about it. Yes. Blame Obama for health care costs. Of course, yeah. When do we stop blaming Obama, by the way? When do we start blaming Trump for what's happening under the Trump administration? Obamacare is pretty much no more. The ACA subsidies weren't extended. People are all going to lose their shit and give it up. There won't be any more Obamacare. Meanwhile, his plan is what again? He's going to give $2,000 to everybody so then they could go blow that or spend it on bills or whatever they have to. Maybe, I don't know, medical bills they owe. And then they won't have health insurance anyway, and we'll still have the same dilemma we have now. So when you say blame Obama, listen, that's what it is about you that everybody hates, everybody in the whole world. The fact that not only is Trump, more so than any president or politician in American history, not only is he a guy who, even though he was born with a silver spoon in his ass and he inherited $500 million and everything he ever got was handed to him and he's the luckiest man on earth, he cries and pisses and moans and bitches and whines. I'm so persecuted. I'm the most persecuted president in history. Meanwhile, there's presidents who have been fucking assassinated. And this dipshit, I'm too persecuted. And you guys love that shit because that's who you are too. Most of you guys, like I said, it's a fact. Poorest, dumbest states in this country are Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia. Places like that. You guys have been voting against your own best interest for 50 years. You never had anything, and you never will because you keep voting for Republicans, which, by the way, they want nothing more than to just keep you dumb and broke. They like cheap labor, and they need a dumb electorate because smart people will never vote for Republicans unless they're part of the 1% or they're just rich. If they're millionaires, sure, of course, because he benefits them. Other than that, no smart people are voting for Republicans. So they know their policies are abysmal. They don't do anything to help working people or the middle class. They're trying to eliminate the middle class. They know what they need to do, you know? So yeah, you guys have low taxes in red states. You also have the worst schools. You're also last in healthcare and stuff like that. So you're the dumbest, sickest, poorest people in the country, and you keep voting Republican, which ensures that you will stay that way. It's hilarious. You guys talk about, look at these blue cities. Look at them. What do you mean? The smartest, wealthiest people in the country are in those blue cities. And without them, your hillbilly states go fucking bankrupt. Yeah, because just California alone, do you know how many fucking states are supported by California? Texas takes out $75 million from the government, more than they put in. California puts in $85 billion more than it takes out. I mean, Jesus Christ. I know a guy that lost everything he had for not getting paid for doing carpeting in Taj Mahal, offering 5 cents on the dollar. That's what Trump would do. Because he had more money than people. So this is what he would do. I'm going to give you an example. Father-son company, I think it was early 90s. One of his dumb casinos, he needs stools for the slots. So he hires this mom and pop company. And he hired them for a reason, you know, because if he would have hired a bigger company, he could have had an issue later. So he hired them. They built the stools. He put them in his casinos. They stayed in there, okay? But he basically told the guy, I'm not paying you. Sue me. Because he knew the guy couldn't. Donald Trump has too much money. There's no way. The guy could never, he'd go bankrupt before the case was even, you know, all figured out. So the father and son went bankrupt, and Trump saved $250,000, $250,000. And that's who he is. That's who he's always been. He's a lowlife. He's a con man. He's a bullshit artist. And he's bullshitted you guys to the presidency, into the presidency. I mean, he actually convinced probably somewhere around half this country that he cares about them. But of course, a lot of it is built on hatred, transphobia, you know, racism in general, homophobia, xenophobia, all these things, you know. I mean, LBJ, I say this on every show. LBJ said, if you can give the lowest white man, or if you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best colored man, he'll never notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, if you give him somebody to look down upon, he'll empty his pockets for you. And it's true. The Republicans know all this shit started in the 80s. Okay. After the big switch, which you don't believe in, and the voter registration started changing, and the Southern racists were now voting for the Republicans, and, you know, the North, you know, they're voting for the Democrats now and shit, liberals and stuff. The Democrats became liberals, Republicans became conservatives. They knew that they had no appealing policies whatsoever. There's no appealing policies from the Republican Party, period. So they started with the culture war shit and all this identity politics. And it's like, you know, they started talking about sex, gay versus straight. They started talking about race, black versus white, you know, immigration, all these things, so that you guys vote. You're the most emotional people on the planet, MAGA. You're sensitive as could be, and you're very, very emotional. So you vote based on your feelings and vibes and shit like that. So if Trump tells you, I'll get rid of the Mexicans, he could fuck your, I don't even want to say what he could do to people in your own family. And you would say, I'm voting for him. I don't give a fuck. As long as he gets rid of those Mexicans. Same thing with what do you call it? Same thing with trans people. Look, when I ask you guys, what's your favorite Trump policies? You don't know any. You literally don't know a single policy. You just say two things, which, by the way, aren't policies: trans and border. That's it. You have trans people and Mexicans on your mind 24 fucking hours a day. 24 hours a day. And that's what you're all about. You know, you vote based on your hatred for other fucking people. Donald Trump is a guy who came along and basically said, make America white again. And that was it. You guys were rock hard for that motherfucker. He said Mexicans are rapists, and you would have thrown your firstborn in front of a speeding train to get to the polls to vote for him. No question about it. And that's why nobody respects you. Nobody respects you. Do you know, Blue Sword, that there is zero proof that he's ever donated his salary? Zero proof. It's just something he says. And by the way, he wouldn't be the first president, even if he did. Jimmy Carter donates his entire presidential salary. But it doesn't matter, Blue Sword, because if you give me a job, okay, where I can steal millions of dollars, I'll donate my paycheck every week too. What am I making? $1,000 a week, $1,500 a week? Give it to charity. I'm rich. You know what I mean? I can make as much money as I want working here, and that's Donald Trump. He only ever became president to keep himself out of prison and to enrich himself. I mean, one of the first things he did was doubled the membership fees at Mar-a-Lago when he became president. Also, the place in New Jersey, whatever the fuck that's called, I forget. He started putting in the brochures that if you spend more than $250,000 on your wedding there, you'll get a visit with the president. More money off the office of the presidency. This time around, not to mention all the merch and all the other crazy shit, he sends out daily emails asking for money, fundraising, trying to scam old people and everything else. This time he dropped a crypto coin a day before he was inaugurated. And who's buying up that crypto coin? Foreign leaders, people like that, evil motherfuckers that want to curry favor with him. So they spend $200 million on this crypto coin, and they get a private meeting with him. They get to talk to him and tell them exactly what they want in return. He had a secret dinner. It was only found out about because the media uncovered it. Supposed to be a secret meeting at Mar-a-Lago with 200 of the top investors in his crypto coin. And all of them showed up in masks, anonymous. They didn't want nobody knowing who they were. They wouldn't talk to press because they're just buying back channel access to the president. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it ever was. Now it's the pardons. CZ, this scumbag who ran Binance, who was laundering money for pedos and terrorists and drug lords, and pleaded guilty to his crimes. He wasn't railroaded by the Biden administration. He didn't get a bum rap. He pleaded guilty. He said, I committed these crimes and I am guilty. Well, after that, he simply got Trump a $2 billion investment into Trump's company that owns his crypto coin, World Liberty Financial, and he got a pardon. Only cost him $2 billion. And it wasn't even his money. He just got Trump the investment. And that's what he does. He pardoned another guy. The guy's mother went to a fucking dinner, benefit dinner for Trump, and gave him $1 million. 2 weeks later, son gets pardoned. You know, he's the most corrupt president on the face of the earth. So don't talk about donating his entire salary, because again, there's zero proof that he does that. It's just something he says. And even if he does, what's you're trading $2 million for what? 5-6 billion? Jesus, that's only in the first year. Imagine what he'll make by the time he leaves office. So please, that's what he does to and another thing, Blue Sword, why don't you look up the emoluments clause? Look up the emoluments clause and you'll find out why he does that. It's very simple. Every president has to take a paycheck, but if you take a paycheck, you can't take money from anywhere else. Domestic emoluments clause, you can't take money from anyone in the country. Foreign, you can't take money from anyone from another country. But if you donate your paycheck and you're not getting paid, you could do a whole bunch of crooked shit like exactly what he's doing. And instead of making $2 million over a span of 4 years, you make $10 billion. So the funniest thing is, you're the guys that he's robbing blind on a daily basis, and you don't even realize it, and you defend him no matter what. His policies, his horrible fucking policies, are disproportionately affecting you guys, not us. The red states. Well, technically I live in a red state now, but the red states, the poorer states and stuff that receive a disproportionate amount of welfare funding. because so many people, not just in the blue cities, but in those red rural areas, they're on food stamps and WIC and cash assistance and Section 8 housing. Owsley County, Kentucky is 99.2% white, 95% Republican, and they receive more SNAP funding than any county in America. You know, so when he's cutting people off of Medicaid and he won't extend the ACA subsidies, so your fucking people's premiums are tripling, quadrupling, and they can't even afford their insurance anymore. That's mostly you guys that vote for him, more so than anyone else. That's the funniest part. That's where fuck around found out really became big. When people saw what Trump was going to be doing after you dummies voted for him, it was like, well, you fucked around. Now you're going to find out. And you are. You don't even know it. Everything you're buying right now is more expensive because of tariffs. It's just a tax on us. That's it. Utilities are sky high compared to what they were under Biden. Grocery prices are higher than they were under Biden. The unemployment is up higher than it's been since COVID, 2021. Fucking Biden created 16.6 million jobs. Trump so far has created probably about 500,000. 4 months out of the last 6, he lost jobs. He lost 110,000 jobs in October. And you guys don't know any of this stuff because when you listen to Fox News or OAN or Newsmax, or you listen to Mike Johnson or Carolyn Levitt or Donald Trump talk, they're not telling you none of this stuff. And they know that he's already tricked you into believing anybody who does make you aware of it, they're lying to you. CNN tells you about it, fake news. MSNBC tells you about it, fake news. Independent journalists, Don Lemon, Luke Beasley, Adam Mockler, David Pakman, fake news. I tell you about it, I'm insane, libtard, TDS. You know, and that's why he keeps you guys following him, because there's nothing he can't do to you. He said it himself. Before he was even elected the first time, I could stand on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. That was him calling you stupid. He wasn't talking about how awesome you are. He was basically saying they're so dumb that if I murdered somebody right in front of them in broad daylight on a busy city street, they'd still vote for me. And he's right. It's 100% right. That's why he stood at a rally in front of tens of thousands of you and he said, I love the poorly educated. He's talking to you. He won with poorly educated. He even said it. That's you guys. Fox News even had the report that the smarter people in this country voted for Kamala. More people with high school diplomas and advanced college degrees voted for Kamala, whereas more college dropouts, high school dropouts and people with no college education voted for Trump. What does that tell you? Tells you the smarter people knew better. So that's why you get so pissed off. You want to kill me. What's your address? I'll come to your house, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. Listen, I've dealt with dangerous people on here. I ain't worried about none of you. This fucking channel's about the mafia, for Christ's sake. That's what it's about, but before the politics stuff. You can imagine the people I've had to fucking deal with. I think I'm worried about any of you with your legal AR-15 that you're afraid to shoot because you'll lose your Second Amendment right. Fuck out of here. You get pissed off at me because I present facts and it bothers you, but hey, that's the way it is. We're not lying to you. Trump is lying to you. Mike Johnson, Carolyn Levitt, like I said, the Republicans in general, Newsmax, OAN, Fox News, Ben Shapiro, he's lying to you. Charlie Kirk was lying to you. Tucker Carlson. That's the fake news. So the funniest part is you think the fake news is the real news and the real news is the fake news. Hilarious. Eric M, 1999. Hi. Thank you very, very much, Eric. That is awesome. $20. I truly appreciate that, brother. We have more handouts for foreigners to go to college than American students who were born in this country. Listen, you're wrong, Robert. I know you don't believe it. You guys think that illegals can vote. They can't vote. You think that they get welfare. They don't get welfare. You think that they get federally funded health care. They don't get that. So there's no, convincing you. You'll just keep saying it. You know what I mean? Look, wow, you all the way home with your transgender queer crap. Point proven. Wayne here. What a surprise. His name is Wayne. It's on his mind. That's all that's on his mind. And it's because Wayne is probably closeted, because nobody thinks about transgender people when they're straight. Nobody. I spend every minute of my life not thinking about that, no matter what I'm doing throughout the day. I could be doing my taxes. I could be watching TV. I could be taking a walk. I could be exercising. Never, not for a split second, do transgender people enter my mind. They don't bother me. I'm not bothered by them at all. I say, live your life. Life is tough. Whatever makes you smile, do it. But I'm straight. I think about women. I think about pussy. Okay. I hate to be crude, but you guys constantly are concerned with who has a dick and who doesn't have a dick. Why would that be, Wayne? Why would that be? No, I read that one. Let me see. Yeah, I know. It is. But bro, Fox News one time, they showed a clip. They said, look what's going on at the southern border. And it was a border fence, and it was people rioting and throwing Molotov cocktails and basically killing each other. And all you guys were like, oh my God, look what's happening. Turns out that video was not our southern border. Nothing was happening at our southern border then. That was a video from something in South America that went down. And they just used it and told you it was our border, and you believed them because that's what you want to see. You don't want to hear, oh, there ain't shit happening at the border. No, you want to hear that all these people are out of control and there's riots and blah, blah, blah. And it gives you more reason to say we got to get rid of them. You know, that's all. All news is fake. Well, if all news was fake, we wouldn't know anything, D-Money. We wouldn't know anything. We wouldn't know the weather. That's part of the news. You know what I mean? And I could tell you for sure, as a person who researches stuff, a lot of what you hear on the news is true. Of course it is, because if it wasn't, there would be no news networks. The funniest thing about you guys is you think they will lie about shit that is so over the top that it would literally bankrupt the entire network in a lawsuit or whatever. That's why they're constantly printing retractions and stuff like that. Because you make the wrong claim or say the wrong thing, especially with this fucktard in office who's just looking for people to sue. You know, that's why they generally don't lie. You know, I'm not saying the media doesn't lie. I'm saying as much as you think, not even fucking close, unless, of course, you're like Fox News. But Fox News is not real news. For Christ's sake, guys, when they had to pay the biggest settlement in American history, the biggest defamation settlement for lying that the 2020 election was stolen, they said in court filings that they shouldn't have to pay because nobody in their right mind would ever take them seriously as a news network. Fox News said that, but you guys do. You see it on Fox News and it's golden. You know how I know that? Because I watch it sometimes to see what they're saying. And then I do these chats. And what do you know? Whatever they said that day, that's what you're saying in the chat. Word for word, verbatim, like a good little robot. You know, seriously. That's where you get your talking point. You don't know the facts about anything. You will constantly ask, why didn't Biden release the files? Because you hear that on Fox News. If Trump was in the files, Biden would have released them. Not one of you has taken the time to go find the answer. Because if you did, you wouldn't be asking anymore. But you don't research. You don't know anything. You're incapable of learning, I think, at this point. But you're brainwashed. So you'll listen to that shit and you'll repeat it. You'll listen to Trump. You'll repeat him. And the guy lies to your face on a constant basis. This is a guy who for months now, has been telling you, I'm going to lower your prescription drug costs by 1,500%. And listen, I'm no genius. I barely have an education, okay? But I know that that's mathematically impossible. Otherwise, the drug companies will be paying us a lot of fucking money to take their drugs. But he keeps saying it and saying it and saying it, and you guys believe it every time. You don't even question it. You don't even question it. Look at this. Look at some of the stuff he says.
The president of Venezuela called the strike on the boat illegal. Are you concerned that Maduro might escalate something?
No, what's illegal are the drugs that were on the boat and the drugs that are being sent into our country. And the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs, that's what's illegal.
Guys, please hit the like, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's very important. And don't be afraid to send a super chat. It makes it so I could do more of these shows. He just said that 300 million people died from drugs. Now, that was last year, so he meant 2024. He said last year, 300 million people died from drugs. They don't, Anthony Sika. They shouldn't be anyway. They should only be deleting people who are just talking shit or spamming the chat. Other than that, no. Next stop, mathematics is fake news. Yeah. So he just said 300 million people died in 2024. Guys, the entire population of the United States is only 340 million. So he thinks most of us are dead. There's only 40 million of us left. And no, I don't want to hear, oh, it was a mistake. He misspoke. Because what number was he trying to say? 300,000? That's wrong too. He was just lying, as he always does. Because worldwide in 2024, in the entire world of every cause, 62 million people died in the entire world in 2024. And this is what he does to you guys. Sure. There's rampant corruption in the White House too. Are you concerned with that? I think that's a little more important, don't you? How about this? Well, if we want to talk about lies, let me see. What else do I have? What's this? Dementia. Oh, here. Look at that. Listen to this crazy shit. And you tell me he's not a fucking pathological liar.
Although my uncle was at MIT, one of the great professors, 51 years, whatever. He was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT, 3 degrees in nuclear, chemical, and math. That's a smart man. Kaczynski was one of his students. Do you know who Kaczynski was? There's very little difference between a madman and a genius. But Kaczynski, I said, what kind of a student was he, Uncle John, Dr. John Trump? He said, what kind of a student? And then he said, seriously good. He said he'd go around correcting everybody, but it didn't work out too well for him.
So on Tuesday, the president told a very detailed story about his uncle, noted scientist John Trump, and Theodore Kaczynski, the late Unabomber. He said that Dr. Trump taught Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski was not identified as the Unabomber until 1996, 11 years after John Trump passed away. It would have been impossible for John Trump to have ever discussed the Unabomber with the president. So what was he talking about? And I have one follow-up.
Andrew, with so many issues going on in the world, I'm a little bit surprised you would ask such a question, although I'm not sometimes coming from you, I will say, but I'm willing to give you an answer. Nevertheless, the president's uncle did, in fact, teach at MIT. He was a very intelligent professor. The president's very proud of his family. In fact, the president has a letter from his uncle on the MIT letterhead that sits in the Oval Office dining room. Maybe we'll let you see it sometime.
Yeah. Here's the best part that they didn't even mention. Ted Kaczynski never went to MIT, not for one day in his life. He never even met Dr. John Trump. That is insane to lie about that. It's not even like he's lying to you about what, like, say, why he invaded Venezuela. That's something a politician might lie about. No, he just made up a story for no fucking reason about his fucking uncle teaching the Unabomber, and it was completely untrue and so easily provable that it was untrue, and it just doesn't stop him. He will say whatever comes to his fucking mind. It's unbelievable. And you guys are like, yeah, fucking Trump. He's the only one that tells us the truth. They're all professional liars. Well, yes, yeah, but this is a different level. You know, this is different. The garbled nonsense Biden spewed. I mean, what do you? Let me see what you mean. Let me see. Do you mean like? Hold on. Let's see here. This might take me like this way.
3 and 4. We're scheduled to be at 4%, which is pretty amazing because we have a deadhead Fed hair. I mean, this guy, the head of the Federal Reserve.
A deadhead Fed hair? All right. How about this, guys? Check out this question that he was asked twice. I'm trying. It won't go up.
Okay, please, in the back.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question? Who?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here, days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. You know, my vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can.
The question was, how long are the, immigrants, the detainees, going to be held here in Florida? He doesn't even hear what's being asked of him. He has dementia so fucking bad. And bro, let me tell you something about this guy. The comment I read, this guy who said, let me see. It's very simple, Harry Horn, because it's a government-sponsored program that survives on subsidies. That's why. I don't know where this guy. I don't know where this guy went, but he said at least it wasn't all garbled or something like that, like Joe Biden. Now, notice what they do every time. Trump is a pedo. Yeah, well, Biden showered with his daughter. You play a video of Trump rambling. Yeah, well, at least it was better than how Biden sounded when he talked. You know what I mean? Trump is blocking the Epstein files. Yeah, well, why didn't Biden release them? It's what about? And the funniest part about why they do that is because they can't defend him. You can't. Now, if this guy was a man, the guy who said that, he would say, God damn, that's fucked up. Jesus Christ, what the fuck did he just say? You know what I mean? That's what he would do. He'd be like, all right, I'll give you that one, Trump. Or he lied through his teeth. You know what I mean? He lied through his teeth, the guy would say. He'd be honest. When Biden did that debate with Trump, oh my God, guys. I fucking did a show the next day for 2 hours where I talked about how fucking fucked up Biden was during that debate. I'll admit it. But these guys, I could show them any of these videos and they're like, yeah, what about Biden? They'll never just be honest and be like, okay, yeah, he's obviously anything. Like, well, he's getting real old. Yeah, you won't get it from them. It'll just be, what about Biden? They won't even try to defend him. Their defense of him will be, what about Biden? Which is, here's the thing about that, guys. What about him? Biden isn't in office anymore. If Biden never existed, what would you say? Let's just say Trump is our first president we've ever had. Okay. What would you say if you saw the president saying and doing these things? You're not supposed to compare him to anyone. He's the current guy. Biden is at home with cancer. Trump is in the White House right now. And you guys have no concerns about his cognitive health or his physical health. None whatsoever. It's amazing. Oh, yeah, that fucking disgusting shit. I know. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. It's very, very important. The American dream returns when the illegals are gone and when them lib commie politicians start going to jail. See, now, D-Money, let me tell you about yourself. I don't think I have a bad memory, but I don't think it was this show. I think it was the first show I talked about this. Maybe it was this show. But I said about how, Donald Trump doesn't take responsibility for anything. He breaks the law and he gets prosecuted. Oh, it's a witch hunt. You know what I mean? And no matter what happens, he doesn't take responsibility. And they love him because they are the same way. D-Money is an example here. D-Money obviously does not have a great life. So instead of being a man and saying, I made bad choices, look where I'm at. I should have done something differently, like a man would do. He says the American dream, because he don't have the American dream, it can't possibly be his fault. Bad decisions, lack of education, lack of motivation, stuff. No. So it's the illegals' fault. It's the liberals' fault. Everything is somebody else's fault. I was in a store once. There was a fucktard in there with a MAGA hat on. I shit you not. And his credit card got declined. This fucking lunatic started screaming about the Muslims and what they're doing to the country. It's his dumbass fault his credit card got declined. But here he was blaming the Muslims, kind of like what D-Money's doing now. The funny thing is, D-Money, I worked my whole life. This YouTube thing is only 4.5 years in now. Also, my wife is a successful nurse. My brother has his own fucking company. My daughter's very, very successful. My stepson's doing great at 22 years old. I couldn't imagine him doing better. Why is it that the illegals aren't holding any of them back? How come no illegal ever stopped me from getting a job? How come damn near every job I ever applied for, I got? Well, I'll tell you, number one, illegals can't take your jobs because they can't take payroll jobs. That's why they work like on farms and shit under the table. And anything else you blame them for, believe me, you blame them for elections, they can't vote. You say they get federally funded health care, they can't. You say they're getting all the welfare, they can't get federally funded welfare. Nothing of the sort. But somehow your problems, your shortcomings, they're not D-Money's fault. Joe Biden's fault, and their FBS's fault, and their Nancy Pelosi's fault, and Obama's fault. It's unbelievable. I've never met people like this who are supposed to be men. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Tell me how the fucking illegals fucked up the American dream. There's 340 million people in this country. At maximum, we have 14 million illegals. Maximum. Most of which work some under the table job. They've been here forever. They work, they go home, they support their families. They can't get welfare, guys. I told you. They can't. Now, are there states that might give them debit cards? Sure. But they can't get Section 8 housing. They can't get WIC. They can't get food stamps. They can't get that stuff. I'm doing great. Rents, mortgages, and food prices will go down. Oh, when we get rid of the illegals, could you just tell me how they're keeping them up? And by the way, why? Apparently, according to you, right, D-Money, it's Biden that brought in all the illegals. And all the illegals were here when Biden is office. Trump's been getting rid of them, right? So how come all these things are more expensive under Trump? Why weren't they more expensive than they were under Biden? Why not? If it's the illegals doing it. Just out of curiosity. No, they don't, Bill Myers. They don't. You're confused. Y-O-U-R. They can't vote. What is it? You guys think they vote? Which thing are you talking about? Yes, they do what? Yes, Tia. They vote in every election. Okay, go get me a credible source where there's been any type of outcome determinative voting amongst illegals in any federal election. Go ahead, I'll wait. Tell me how many illegals voted in the 2024 election. I'll tell you what you could do. You can Google it. You don't trust Google, right? Okay. Use ChatGPT. Or is that liberal too? Okay, then use Elon Musk's Grok and tell me how many illegals voted in the 2020 or 2024 election and then come back. I'm asking you to do that. You could do it just like I can. You can. I know, Jason. I know. They're obsessed, bro. I just gave the speech about how they can't take responsibility for anything. So if they can't afford a house, illegals. If they get too much money taken out of their check and taxes, welfare, black people, You know what I mean? If they just figure out a way. If God forbid one of their kids turns out to be not so straight, the gay people and the trans people, they recruited him and they did this to him. You know, it wasn't just born that way or anything. Everything is somebody else's fault because they drain all the money. How do they do that? Do you know that they pay about $95 billion a year in taxes? You know that? The illegals in this country? Do you know what they do for the economy? Do you know that if farmers had to staff their farms with American citizens, you'd be paying like $22 for a gallon of fucking milk? Do you know how good they are for the economy? Do you have any idea? Inflation. What? You're blaming them for inflation? Is that what I'm getting? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't even know where you're at anymore. Yes. That really bothers me. It would have been so easy, and it's not as important as these lives are. Nuclear is powerful. My uncle explained that to me. She's putting in things Trump has said. Yeah, he's a fucking mental patient. I swear to God. Why don't you MAGA morons learn to form complete sentences? They just haven't gotten sentences yet, you know? MAGA were blaming Biden for inflation, but now it's Trump. It's inflation's fault. I think you mean MAGA were blaming Biden for inflation, but now it's Trump. I don't know, but they blame Biden still for the inflation, even though, you know, inflation was higher just a few weeks ago than it was under Biden at one point, you know? And it's only 2.7% now, and it was 3% when Biden left office. So it's about the same. Except prices are higher as far as certain things. Utilities, electric bills are up like 10% nationwide, stuff like that. And you know why? Tariffs. We get a lot of electricity from Canada, tariffed, you know? And a lot of these people, don't even get me started on the ones that still think that foreign countries pay the tariffs. We had some of them in the chat yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I love you too, Jason. MAGA or closet cases. Oh, yeah. The irony is capitalists benefit from the so-called illegals. Of course they do. Of course. Let me give you the name of one. Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't care about illegals, guys. The fucking guy hired them his whole goddamn life. He got sued in the 80s because he had a bunch of fucking illegal Polish immigrants building his building, and he was too cheap to give them hard hats. He got sued for it. The guy, if you look at his first term, if you go to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, okay, or is it the Department of Labor? I think it's the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And you look into it, Donald Trump gave more contracts to American companies to move overseas than any president ever. It's just like he tells you, made in America, we want American manufacturing. Yeah, okay. His own products that he sells are not made in America. David Letterman caught him. His own clothing line was made in China. He got caught while he's sitting on David Letterman talking shit about China and how we got to bring manufacturing back to America. Jason, bro, do you remember one of the dumbest things I ever heard? Do you remember Common when I brought that up? And he goes, Trump wasn't talking about that kind of manufacturing. He's talking about steel and shit. No, he was talking about manufacturing, period. Yeah, he was. Let me see. It's been fact-checked many times. 98% of the tariffs are paid by the end consumer. Of course. That's just a tax on us. But don't blame them, D-Money. Don't blame the tariffs. Don't blame Trump. Remember, Trump can do no wrong. Listen, this is what you hear in your sleep every night, right, D-Money? Trump is infallible. Trump is a perfect being. Trump can do no wrong. Does that sound familiar? All right, guys, listen, it's been real. But I want to, I know. It's fucking too much to handle sometimes. I'm going to YOUR the mental patient, and you're illiterate. I'm going to go I'm going to go now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But thank you to everybody who hit like and subscribe. And please do so now if you haven't already. And for everybody who donated, you guys are awesome, man. You have no idea how much I appreciate every dime. Thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.